What I'm going to endeavor to do this hour is to speak on the historicity of Old Testament materials, and particularly the so-called documentary hypothesis as to the origins of the material in the first 5 books of the Bible. And after I've said something about this, then I'm going to talk about the implications of this for the reliability of the accounts that you find in the early material in the Bible. This is going to take us to a few remarks on the miraculous, since these accounts contain miraculous events. And then this will lead on to the question of the uniqueness of the Old Testament message and the relationship of Hebrew to Greek thought. Later on in this course, you're going to deal with the thought of the Greeks. You're going to be comparing and contrasting this with Hebrew thought, and I want to make a few remarks on that at the end of the period. Obviously, it's not possible to do very much with this kind of a topic in such a short time, and for this reason, I have made available some materials which presumably you've received. There are 3 pieces of material which I hope everybody has obtained. One of these is a mimeographed essay by a graduate student of mine. This essay is going to be published in a book later on this year. The other 2 materials I have done myself. One of them is an essay dealing with McNeill's Rise of the West, and you're reading sections of this in connection with your course. The other is a printed article entitled History and Christianity, which applies some of the points I'm going to make this period to the problem of New Testament material, to the problem of New Testament reliability, New Testament historicity. Are there people here who have not received this mimeographed article, the mimeographed material? Everybody has that? No? I don't know who's doing the distributing, but maybe you could bring a couple of copies down here. How about the Xerox? This is a legal size affair. How many have not received that? Approximately the same people. And what about the printed article, History and Christianity? How many have not gotten that? Again, it's the same people, so they're more or less located in that section. Let me begin then with the problem of documentary theories as to the origin of the early biblical material. Undoubtedly, you have had the documentary hypotheses described in class. I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes in indicating what these theories are, and then I'm going to go on to a criticism of them. The origin of documentary theories in regard to the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, comes with the French physician Jean Astruc, A-S-T-R-U-C, in the 18th century. This physician noted that 2 different names were used for God in Genesis 1 and 2, and that these 2 names were used in different situations in the first 5 books of the Bible. And he concluded from this that the author of this material had relied upon prior sources in order to produce his narrative. Astruc felt that the editor of this material was probably Moses, but he was reasonably certain that the material had originated elsewhere and that the material had been brought together and worked into a single narrative as we have it at the present time. By 1780, toward the end of the 18th century, J.G. Eichhorn, E-I-C-H-H-O-R-N, J.G. Eichhorn, a German scholar, specified 2 different strands of documents, 2 different strands of material entering into the Pentateuch. These correspond to what later came to be known as the J and the E sources. J standing for the material that used Jehovah or Yahweh is the name for God, and E, the strand of material using the Hebrew word Elohim for God.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?